It is News Literacy Week, and boy, do we need it. We have made a commitment to highlight ways that you can stay informed and avoid misinformation. Fox 13's Amy Ney explores how the journalism department at Brigham Young University is teaching the next generation of journalists.
I do think it's changing. I do think it's getting worse and more dangerous.
I'll click on it and then I'll just be like, oh, this kind of seems interesting. But once I get to the bottom, I'm usually like, oh, there's no way that this is reputable in the slightest.
Cecily Henstrom and Soraya Farmer are journalism majors at Brigham Young University.
Sometimes I feel like people post things that are very emotionally charged as if they are news.
I think a lot of people like to use that clickbait. So the questions are like, have you seen this?
Talking about what they see being shared by their peers online.
I want to believe and I want to learn from those things, but those get circulated so quickly. And if they're not sourced properly, then it just kind of becomes really cloudy really fast.
Cecily and Soraya are more educated than most on this topic, but say even they've fallen victim to sharing something they later learned had been taken out of context, trying now to be more careful.
I do a quick Google search. I see what else has been reported on the subject and then kind of cross-examine them, I guess.
They're part of a generation who consumes news primarily from their social media feeds.
For one of my communication classes, we did a study about different news sources that students look at. And most of them were saying, yes, I look at Facebook or Twitter or Instagram. And it was just so surprising to me that that's where they turn to for their news when there's so many other options that they can look at. There's so many other reputable sources.
Soraya and Cecily work at BYU's Newsline Lab, producing a live daily newscast with professor and former TV news producer Melissa Gibbs.
The information we receive, we have to be critically aware of where that information is coming from, if that information has a bias, what the purpose of that information is.
She says there are some dangerous trends right now.
In this digital age that we live in, when you're scrolling through social media, so many times people just look at a headline.
Advising we dig a little deeper before we take that information in as fact.
Critical thinking skills are really important when consuming any type of information. Not only that we are consuming, but also the information that we are sharing and the information that we are creating.
3 things the experts recommend. Avoid single sources of information. Resist clicking on the first links in your online search results, and familiarize yourself with common tactics used by some to mislead, like conspiracy theories and trolling, which prey on emotional reactions. And Melissa challenges us all to broaden the kind of news we choose to consume.
Human beings have a tendency to gravitate and consume ideas that they agree with or that confirm the beliefs that they have. That confirmation bias can be extremely dangerous.
And why she believes there's such a political divide right now in our country.
We always talk about how dangerous the internet is for our kids sometimes, and I think we're just seeing that in a new way.
Amy Ney, Fox 13 News, Utah.